Imagine fierce warriors, sailing in from the sea. They come in longships with dragon heads on the prows. These are the Vikings. From the late 8th century to the 11th century, they spread terror and awe across Europe. The Vikings were not just raiders though, they were also skilled explorers, traders and craftsmen. They came from Scandinavia, a region in northern Europe that includes Denmark, Norway and Sweden. Life there was harsh, the land was cold and unforgiving, but the Vikings were a tough and resourceful people. They set out in their longships to seek their fortunes elsewhere. They sailed across the North Sea to the British Isles, they ventured south to France and Spain. They even reached North America, centuries before Columbus. The Vikings' impact on European history was profound. They toppled kingdoms, founded cities, and left a lasting mark on the culture and genetics of Europe. To understand the Vikings, we must understand their homeland. Scandinavia was a challenging place. Imagine long, cold winters and short, cool summers. Imagine a land of mountains, forests, and fjords. This was the Vikings' world. The Vikings were farmers, fishermen, and hunters. Life was a constant struggle against the elements. Land suitable for farming was scarce. The sea, though dangerous, offered opportunities for fishing and trade. Around the 8th century, something changed. The population in Scandinavia grew. Resources became even scarcer. Competition for land and wealth intensified. This pressure, combined with the Vikings' seafaring skills, led them to look beyond their own shores. They began to raid neighboring lands. At first, these were small-scale raids targeting coastal villages and monasteries, but they grew bolder and more ambitious. They sought not just plunder but land, power, and a place for themselves in the wider world. The Vikings are often portrayed as bloodthirsty barbarians. While it is true that they were fierce warriors, their motivations for raiding were complex. It wasn't just about loot. One key factor was overpopulation and land scarcity in Scandinavia. The Vikings needed more space and resources to support their growing population. Raiding offered a way to acquire wealth and land quickly. Another factor was the lure of riches. Monasteries and towns in other parts of Europe were known to hold valuable treasures. The Vikings, skilled in seafaring and warfare, saw an opportunity to exploit this wealth. Furthermore, the Vikings sought glory and honor. In their culture, bravery in battle was highly prized. Successful raids brought not only material wealth but also prestige and respect within Viking society. Finally, some Vikings may have been driven by a sense of adventure and exploration. They were curious about the world beyond their own shores and eager to make their mark on it. Section 4. The Viking Way of War, Tactics and Strategies. The Vikings' success in raiding and conquest can be attributed to their unique approach to warfare. They were masters of both land and sea, employing a combination of surprise, speed, and ferocity that often overwhelmed their opponents. Their longships, long and narrow vessels with shallow drafts, were key to their success. These ships could navigate rivers and seas with ease, allowing the Vikings to strike quickly and disappear just as fast. They could sail up rivers, bypassing traditional defenses. The Vikings were also skilled warriors, known for their ferocity in battle. They were armed with axes, swords, and spears, and they fought with a relentless aggression that often broke the morale of their enemies. They used shield walls, a tightly packed formation of warriors with overlapping shields, to create a formidable defensive barrier. However, they were not mindless berserkers. The Vikings also employed strategic cunning. They would use surprise attacks, often targeting undefended monasteries or villages. They were also adept at exploiting their enemies' weaknesses, using their mobility and knowledge of the terrain to their advantage. Section 5. Key Events and Battles, Leaving a Mark on History. The Viking Age was marked by numerous raids, battles, and conquests that left a lasting impact on European history. These events highlight the Vikings' military prowess, their ambition, and their gradual integration into the societies they encountered. One of the earliest and most significant Viking raids was the attack on the Lindisfarne Monastery in 793 AD. Located on a small island off the coast of Northumbria in present-day England, Lindisfarne was a center of learning and Christian pilgrimage. The Vikings' brutal sacking of the monastery shocked the Christian world, marking the beginning of the Viking Age in the eyes of many historians. Another key event was the Viking siege of Paris in 845 AD. Led by the legendary Viking chieftain Ragnar Lothbrok, a large Viking fleet sailed up the Seine River and besieged the Frankish capital. While the Vikings were eventually paid off with a hefty ransom, the siege demonstrated their ability to strike at the heart of even the most powerful kingdoms in Europe. The Vikings also established settlements and colonies throughout Europe. In the 9th century, they founded the city of Dublin, which became a major Viking stronghold in Ireland. They also settled in parts of England, France, and Russia, establishing trading posts and gradually integrating into local populations. Section 6. Figures of legend, heroes and villains. The Viking Age produced numerous legendary figures whose exploits were passed down through generations in sagas and stories. These figures, both historical and semi-legendary, embody the Viking spirit of adventure, their ruthlessness in battle, and their complex impact on European history. Ragnar Lothbrok, mentioned earlier, is one such figure. Although his historicity is debated, he is a prominent character in Viking sagas, known for his raids on Francia and England. He is said to have been the father of several famous Viking leaders, including Ivar the Boneless and Bjorn Ironside. Ivar the Boneless, known for his cunning and ruthlessness, played a key role in the Viking invasion of England in the 9th century. He is credited with leading the Great Heathen Army, a large Viking force that conquered much of England. Leif Erikson, a Norse explorer, is credited with being the first European to set foot on continental North America, nearly 500 years before Columbus. Around the year 1000 AD, he established a short-lived settlement at L'Anse aux Meadows in present-day Newfoundland, Canada. These figures, while only a glimpse into the vast tapestry of the Viking Age, demonstrate the diversity of Viking leadership and the impact these individuals had on shaping the course of history. Section 7. The enduring legacy. Vikings in our world today. The Viking Age may have ended centuries ago, but the Vikings' legacy continues to resonate in our world today. From language and place names to popular culture and our understanding of history, the Vikings have left an indelible mark on our collective imagination. The English language, for example, still bears the imprint of Viking influence, with words like berserk, skull, and law having Norse origins. Many place names in Britain, Ireland, and other parts of Europe, such as Dublin, Waterford, and Normandy, are also derived from Viking settlements. The Vikings' image has been romanticized and mythologized in popular culture. Movies, TV shows, and books often portray them as fierce warriors, skilled seafarers, and adventurous explorers. While these depictions often exaggerate the Vikings' brutality, they also capture their courage, their ingenuity, and their enduring fascination. Moreover, the Vikings' voyages and explorations expanded the geographical horizons of their time, connecting Scandinavia with the rest of Europe and beyond. Their voyages to North America, while ultimately unsuccessful in establishing permanent settlements, demonstrate their seafaring prowess and their spirit of adventure. The Vikings, therefore, were much more than just raiders and conquerors. They were skilled craftsmen, traders, explorers, and storytellers. They left behind a rich legacy of art, literature, and culture that continues to inspire and intrigue us today.